In just a few days before the UN Human Rights Council, which hosts world leaders in Geneva, Imam Shirazi World Foundation released a statement in which it called for a change in the suppressive policies of some countries and demanded an end to the violation of human and legal rights of people living in these countries. In this statement, ISWF pointed to the sorrowful situations in the Middle East and introduced the suppressive policies of some certain countries and the weak bonds between these countries and their nations as the main reason for the faltering battles against terrorism in the region. In the end, ISWF urged the United Nations to perform its humanitarian and legal responsibilities to solve the crisis in the Middle East and take more serious steps in this regard. Stay with us.
In a statement, Imam Shirazi World Foundation addresses the United Nations organization to take the necessary measures to resolve the humanitarian crises in the Middle East. As the General Assembly of the United Nations nears, Imam Shirazi World Foundation seizes the opportunity to send a letter to the United Nations to address the dramatic deterioration of human rights in the world. A part of the letter reads as follows: The human rights situation in the region continues to exacerbate because of the tyranny of some governments and terrorism, and the international community, especially the UN, bears legal and moral responsibility towards this dangerous deterioration of safety and security. The serious violation of the human rights in the Middle East has incited violence and terrorism, and it had the vulnerable youth brainwashed and turned into killing machines. This humanitarian crisis not only encompassed the Middle East, but also it included the entire world. Unfortunately, the political tyranny has led to the incitement of sectarianism and the creation of blind terrorism, which is partly due to the silence of the international community for the political agendas. With that being said, the people of the region consider the humanitarian crisis from which the Middle East suffers nowadays to be partially the international community's fault. Moreover, the words and speeches have proven ineffective in stopping the worsening human rights situation. Furthermore, there should be a global human rights project sponsored by the international community to achieve this goal. Even though a great number of human rights organizations in the region are working non-stop to achieve this goal, but they are constantly persecuted by the authoritarian regimes, and they are not supported by any international human rights organizations. Finally, we wish you success in your summit, hoping to see the international community taking the necessary measures to enhance the human rights status in the region. The humanitarian situation should not become a tool which serves the political agendas of different parties. Otherwise, it would only serve the growth of violence and terrorism on a global scale.